It's going. Hey.
Okay. Question 1. What message is King sending about prison?
I said, not only is prison a physical way of being locked up, but it's mental as well. The characters in prison are metaphorically trapped in the sense that they feel as if they cannot properly function outside of the walls of prison. Also, King makes it clear that prison is a gruesome and unjust system.
I agree. I think that King is trying to show that the system is corrupt and unjust, and it doesn't help to reform people at all. It drives them insane.
There's just a lot of fighting like all the time, and like even the security guards and stuff are like contributing to that.
Yeah,
Like they don't care. Like they just like beat the crap out of each other. They kill people. Like
Okay. Question 2 goes off of that. As the story, or using the story as evidence, is there a such thing as rehabilitation?
I said, rehab only comes to those who are looking for it, and unfortunately, due to the conditions of the prison system, it's nearly impossible for anyone to rehabilitate. And Andy was never really in need of it in the first place because he was already okay to begin with. But like, I don't know. I feel like because they've been in prison so long, it's almost like a lot of them have like given up hope, and like I don't know. It's just become like a part of their like daily routine, and they don't really care. Like they just do whatever they need to do. Like they kind of forget what it was like outside of it.
There was a quote kind of like that saying like that Andy was kind of like the light, I guess. I know like one part of it says, "Oh, I know for sure." It's like Andy wasn't much like me or anyone else I ever knew. It was kind of the light he carried around with him.
You think that's like because he's like fresh blood and he's like I don't know, he's still like hopeful and stuff to get out.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't really have like a whole lot of that left in them. But since like he came in and like he went out so bad, it like encourages them to want the same.
Yeah, and I also think because there's a quote about Brooks after he left, and Red says they trained him to like get inside the shit house and then they threw him out, which is pretty true about prison.
Yeah.
Like they just show them how to survive in prison.
And they don't know how to do it
Yeah, they don't know
outside.
what to do when they get back outside.
Yeah.
Okay, question 3. What are Andy's best and worst qualities?
I said he's a calm and collected intellectual that stands out from the rest of the inmates. He doesn't give in to the immaturity, and he doesn't necessarily start fights, but he ends up participating in them just to defend himself. And his mental toughness and persistence guides him through his journey and keeps his head on straight.
Yeah,
Like he always has like an end goal, you
Yeah.
know, like
and he went through like a lot of things that the other prisoners didn't, just because like a lot of groups targeted him, like the sisters. And I think other prisoners would have gone pretty insane very quickly.
yeah,
And he kept his cool, and like Red even said he only saw him lose his cool twice, I think.
which is like crazy. Like imagine just being like beat up like every single day, you know, and just like still being like chill.
I feel like as kind of like when I started reading it, it seemed like Andy came off like kind of like snobbish, just a little bit,
Like how they
Yeah,
thought,
yeah,
he was,
like how they
kinda
thought
stuck
he
up
was,
and
like-
thought he was better.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Otherwise it'd be like turned into like what you said.
Okay. Question 4. Why would King choose to tell the story from Red's perspective instead of Andy's?
I said I believe it was interesting that he chose it from the point of view of Red because he's an observer, but he's much more like intuitive than everyone else in the prison, and he sees like a deeper level of Andy than everybody else does, and he takes a liking to him because Andy reminds him of himself because he's confident and hopeful, and that's a part of Red that the prison can never be taken from him. So I feel like Red is like, I don't know, he still has hope, whereas the rest of the prisoners like kind of gave up a while ago. But like I don't know, it was kind of like deep inside of him. But when he saw Andy, or like when he met Andy, I think it like don't know, like he was like reborn in the sense that he wants to like his hope was like rejuvenated and like, he like wanted to get out even more because of Andy.
Yeah, I think Andy like brought out what little hope was left in him, especially when Andy was like trying to get out and stuff. Like he showed him that like you can get out eventually. And like Red's a veteran of the prison, and he like because he's been there so long, he knows how everything's run. And like when Andy kind of went against that, it kind of like took him aback that someone would do that.
I also, oh, sorry.
Don't know how you're gonna go ahead.
I also think that like kind of what you said, like Andy says really positive and stuff. Like even when he was like asking Red for like the hammer or whatever, he like kept himself like interested in something like the rocks and stuff like that instead of like feeling down and like hopeless all the time.
What I'm confused about is like Red can get anything, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
somehow he could get anything, but like why can't he get out? You know what I mean? Like if he
Yeah.
could be able to get anything
Like,
in,
he
then
gets
like
other people things.
yeah, like
He
he
never really
could be
seems to
able
get
to
stuff for
like
himself.
do something to like get himself out of there,
Exactly.
or like at least like murder people or something. He's just sitting there like doing whatever.
Well, like if you think about it, they'd be obviously if you escape from prison after you like.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of just like accepted that he was there.
Yeah, like I
Like,
feel
he
they'd
just
be
kinda
acting
that's
like
sad.
freaking crazy.
Question 5. This is a story about hardened criminals in prison. In what ways can it relate to senior year in high school?
Oh boy. I said after years of schooling, it becomes a drag and a chore. And as a senior, my senioritis is overwhelming. And like, although prison and senior year are completely different, there's the still like type of feelings involved in both. And like the persistence to get through this year and like get into college relates to the desire to like get out of prison and be free, and like the hope for like the last day are like exciting, and like basically you just have to like push through, and like that's what the prisoners are doing as well.
Like I also think when people say that like school is prison, they think of their high school like
Yeah.
in general. You know how people are like, oh well, this high school is like prison, but like
Yeah.
I've obviously like moved schools, so I've obviously seen like two sides of two different high schools, and I'd say like just high school in general is just like kind of like related to like a prison because it's like kind of what you said, like overwhelmed.
Yeah, you just don't have like much of a choice, right?
Yeah,
like,
you're just like
there's
there.
just like rules, and like you have to do it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
But,
just
like-
something. It's like a necessity. You
Like
just
I said,
have
I just
to.
think people just like think of one high school as like a prison, but like really, since I've been at like two, it's
Yeah.
kind of like I don't know. I think it's just like high school in general is just like hard to get through.
And I feel like since we've been here 4 years now, we're just like waiting for what's next and like
Yeah,
what's past the doors.
Yeah.
it's frustrating just like sitting there and like waiting for it to happen. I think that's like also relates to prison. It's like waiting to get out.
Yeah, like we're waiting for the next step in life.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We're good.